everyone, Amy here, and I am back in The Sims 4 building another community lot for you today. And this lot I have entitled Magic Waters Water and Theme Park, and I'm really excited to be building this for you. I have had this idea for quite some time to build a large pool or water park type lot. And I've been slowly doing this over the past several weeks. It's taken me quite some time to build it, but I'm really happy with the final result and glad to be doing this video for you today. So we are starting off with the main entrance and actually the only entrance for the whole park. So every single sim who enters the park must come through here to the ticket counter or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that blue counter is supposed to be the ticket counter. I put a cash register on it, so I mean, it doesn't really function. It doesn't cost anything to get into this lot, but that's kind of the idea behind it. So you would basically walk in, you would pay for your admission ticket, and then go to either the left or the right side where you will enter the male and the female locker rooms and bathrooms, and then change your clothes and everything like that, and then proceed on to the water park. So that's kind of the general idea that I have here, and you kind of see me playing around with some windows and kind of dressing this up here a little bit. I do have, like I said, the bathrooms and the locker rooms here. This is the main bathroom for this level. There's actually 4 levels in total. So there's this one, like the ground level, there is an upstairs, there is a basement, and then there is a second basement that goes underground. So that is why I end up kind of changing the name from what I was originally going to call Magic Waters Water Park to Magic Waters Water and Theme Park, because it ends up being, of course, quite a bit bigger than I was originally planning, but I'm really happy with how everything turns out in the end, and I hope that you all like it. So yeah, just kind of playing around. I initially had these windows and I liked them for the bathrooms, but as I put the rest of the windows on the sides and everything, the windows in the bathroom didn't match, so I ended up changing those out so it looks a little bit better. Here you can see I put the cash register in and a couple of fans that came with, I believe, the Get to Work expansion pack, and then placing a stool so the workers could sit and in between customers or whatever that were supposedly buying tickets, they could sit down and kind of have a little break, I guess, beforehand. So going around and putting a large clear fence all the way around. So the only way again to get in is through that front building right there. And we're going to be spending a little bit of time, or what feels like a little bit of time, on this sidewalk area. And pretty much most of this ends up being kind of pointless because most of this lot is actually going to be a lot of cement or concrete and stuff like that. So I kind of wasted some time making all of those tiles diagonal, but it didn't really matter in the long run. We are building the first pool, and this is one of many pools. So right now I'm kind of working on these 2 little pools up in the corner, which I'm intending to use as hot tubs. And I know what you're saying, Amy, we have hot tubs in The Sims 4. You don't have to use pools to pretend like they are hot tubs, but I know that there are a lot of simmers who will possibly want to download this and may not have the hot tubs. I think the hot tubs came with either the spa day pack or possibly the perfect patio stuff pack. I can't remember. I'm actually really bad at remembering what packs all of the build by items come from. But yeah, I know not everybody will have hot tubs, and there are 2 other actual hot tubs that I place in this lot. So just to have these small little pools here acting like hot tubs, I don't think is a big deal in the end. So So that's kind of what I do. So I don't actually count them as a pool. If you exclude those, there are there's several pools. And we'll kind of, well, obviously you'll see most of them, as we kind of go along. But this is the main like pool, well, one of the main pool areas, and I have a whole bunch of furniture that just kind of randomly placed. And then I kind of set that all up. So that's one thing I like to do in a lot of the speed builds is pick out some furniture off camera. I do a lot of planning off camera and then pick out a whole bunch of furniture and then record myself as I place it for the most part. I feel like it saves quite a bit of time to do that way. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if you actually saw my raw recording or footage because you'd see how many different times I change my mind and go back and do things. But for the sake of trying to make the videos not too long, I do a lot of like pre-planning and magically you'll see a whole bunch of items kind of randomly placed. So the downside of that is, as you can see, I already kind of built these walls and put these lights around where this hot tub area is. Um, and so like I think I somehow deleted the footage or I'm not entirely sure what happened, but you see me kind of messing around with this again and I had already kind of done it, but sorry. So, it's just kind of the way things work out sometimes when you are building, you don't realize that something didn't record or I undid it or I don't actually know what happened, but that's basically how that happened, I guess. So, still trying to figure out some more like patio furniture. And if you notice, I used a lot of blue. Obviously, when I think of water parks, I think of blue for water. So I used a lot of the navy color and different shades and colors of blue throughout, which I think look nice in the end. So most of that ends up pretty much staying the same. Um, right now, we are going to focus on the main thing that I wanted to do in a water park or well, a water park portion is to have a lazy river. And so it's kind of interesting. I build like the outside portion of the lazy river and I make a very large, kind of a weird shaped pool. And so you see that, and then I go back and I cut along using the control key. I like cut out basically land in the middle. So it's going to create a lazy river slash like pool with an island in the middle. So that's kind of the thought process that I have around here. Um, and pretty much like the lazy river itself is supposed to be like hopefully like mostly 3 tiles wide. It's not, I didn't want it to be exact. I wanted it to be a little bit different and not 100% like in line with everything else. So some parts may be a little bit more narrow or some might be a little bit wider. But yeah, I didn't want it to like match up exactly with the other half of the land, I guess, but I did want it to look somewhat like I don't know. I like the general look that I have of the island. It's not perfect. It doesn't match entirely, but I think it looks good. So that's kind of what I went for. So the name Magic Waters comes from a real like water park that is by my house. It's like maybe 20 minutes away from me and we frequent there a lot. We have season passes. We've had season passes for a couple of years now. And basically the real Magic Waters has a lazy river and then there's an island in the middle and it's where they have what we call the bucket, which has this huge like bucket of water that gets filled every like 5 or 10 minutes, and then when it gets to the top it automatically will fall down over you, and it's like even if you're sitting 15 feet away you still get like a mist of water that comes down. So that's kind of like the idea is this center island is supposed to be like a play area for the small kids. You see I have the pirate ship there, and I end up putting some long furniture. One thing that you don't see me place, and I definitely wanted to mention, I didn't do this until the very, very like tail end of building and finishing this lot, but I had come across the like water fountains. And so I put a whole bunch of water fountains in the pirate ship. So I mean, I don't know. Actually, I didn't have any children test that. So I'm pretty sure it will work. I hope it will work. It might not, but I thought it looks really, really cool. And you do get to see some of that in the video towards the end. So yeah, make sure you look out for that. I think it looks really, really cool. So now we're working over on this other side off to the entrance, which is going to be the main like grassy area. There's, like I said earlier, there's a lot of concrete and like patio, like pavement, I guess, throughout. So, which definitely made it easy as far as terrain painting and landscaping because it's a lot of cement and everything. You don't really have a lot of grass. So this is the most grass you'll really see in this whole video. I definitely wanted to have it because we have, of course, the slip and slide that came with the backyard stuff pack. So placing some furniture on here, some of the side patio furniture does change. I put like a picnic table out here and a couple of benches instead of some of the like furniture that you see. But for the most part, the slip and slide stays and the horseshoe game thingy that came with Outdoor Retreat. So speaking of like stuff packs, or packs in general, I have all of the packs except for the spooky pack, which I don't know if I honestly will ever get it. I like Halloween and everything, but I don't know if I will ever really use a lot of the objects that it comes with. So, but I'm really, really excited about the parent game pack that's coming up really soon. So I think it comes out in just like a week or two. So that is going to be really cool. And I haven't really looked forward to a pack, expansion pack, game pack, or anything in a long time. For the most part, I tend to build in The Sims, which most of you probably know by now. But yeah, some of the interactions seem really cool. I'm excited to have a teenager and kind of have them be like a little rebel. I've actually planned on doing a video when that comes out of some gameplay interactions. So I think that'll be kind of cool. I've created a family, and my friend Lou Crecia is going to do a video on her channel featuring like all the cast items and go through the build buy catalog. And then I'm going to make a sister video of the same like pack, basically showing some gameplay interactions. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that you guys will be just as excited as I am. And yeah, so look for that coming out in my channel, obviously in a couple weeks when that pack comes out. Right now, I am working on the restaurant on this level. So there's actually two restaurants on this level. Or sorry, on this lot. This is the one on this level, and then there's one just underneath here on the basement level. So I have like some table and chairs and stuff that I've kind of picked out, and then some plants that are kind of randomly in the screen there. So you kind of see me figuring out the placement of all of that. So I kind of mentioned that this was originally supposed to be a pool, and then I decided to make it more of like a water park, and then from there into a theme park. So basically this lot, if you're in like the like I think build mode, you can go into the upper left hand corner and you can change the lot type, and you can change this to either like be a pool. So that's how I'm going to upload it to the gallery, is as a pool, but it will be able to function if you change the lot type into 14 different lots. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what all of those are. It's just because I thought that was just really cool. So you can have it function as obviously a pool, a bar, There's several bars throughout this lot, and I don't know, I just feel like the bar wouldn't necessarily always be like to get drinks, but like water and stuff as well. I mean, like not necessarily always alcoholic drinks, but like water and stuff. It can function as a cafe, national park, a nightclub, a regular park. Obviously, you just saw me building the restaurant. There's a full spa in here, a karaoke bar, a lounge, a museum, and a gym. So again, this is all in just one lot. So that's what's kind of really cool about this. If you download this, you don't have to necessarily have all of those other lots in your game. You can just change the lot function for this one and still have all of those lots, which I think is really cool. So I decided to kind of put some stairs that are going above the restaurant, and then I'm gonna make like a breezeway or an archway that's going to connect these two buildings. So I thought that was kind of cool. I really was just kind of taking my time when I was building this. So like I said, it was over the course of many, like a couple of weeks. So I like take a break from playing, and then I get an idea of like, okay, what am I going to work on next? What can I do to improve this? And so I think when I do that, it kind of works out for the best, because this wasn't in my original plan to have an upstairs, but I think it ends up looking quite nice. So right now I'm kind of sketching out there's going to be two bathrooms on this level, and the gym section is like basically what you had just seen me build. And then this section right here is where I have plopped a whole bunch of different items. So this is pretty much the part in the video or in the build where I had decided I wanted to have this function as all of those different lots that I had just told you. So in order to have it functioning, I believe as a park, you have to have a grill. There I am putting in the cafe, like the coffee thing. You had to have a picnic table. So that's how I kind of end up doing that. I am just making sure I have all of the requirements, and then I basically just go through and try to find homes for them. So that's kind of what you're seeing me do now, randomly putting some things away. You're going to see me pretty much decorate or furnish this upside up, like second story patio area. So I have a couple of chess tables. I don't think I show it, but I do move the chess tables on the upper right hand side. I take away the table there, and I end up putting a couple of art easels where the chess tables are. And I think that was to have it function as perhaps a museum or a park. I'm not entirely sure, but I do that. I don't know if I do that on camera. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I don't show on camera. And again, that's only to save time. I think this lot or this build video is like 35 something minutes, and you don't see me do any of the bathrooms. You don't see me do much of the wall colors or the floors or anything like that. A lot of like plants and decor is done off camera, and so I think if I had all of that in here, it would probably end up being like, I don't know, 50 minutes, which I think is way too long to sit and watch one video. So that's why you see me cut out a lot. This is where I got the idea to have a retail store, and I thought, well, if you're going to have a water park or a theme park, you could sell bathing suits. So I'm really excited that I actually remembered to go into live mode when I was testing some of the objects, and I dressed the mannequins in like some swimwear, and so they're all wearing bathing suits. I'd set their poses, and they're all wearing bathing suits and flip-flops and sunglasses and stuff like that. So you'll see that in the end. Obviously you don't see that now, but I think that looks really cool in the end. So I'm glad that I remembered to do that, because I had thought about doing it, but I'm glad that I remembered. So this is what I had kind of thought about for doing a long time. So the idea behind this is to have a pool, obviously with like an island in the middle. So up on top of this is where you have what I was describing as like the bucket area where the pirate ship is. And down underneath is supposed to be like the adults only section, I guess you can call it. There's a bar, there are a couple of dining chairs. I have a foosball table and a dartboard here, but I do end up moving those in like the second basement. And that is because I end up making like an official or unofficial like arcade, and I needed to have a musical instrument in this lot to have it function, I believe, as a lounge. You had to have a musical instrument and a microphone. So we have a karaoke machine here, the microphone, and then where the foosball and TV are currently is where I end up putting a grand piano, and then I move the foosball table and the dartboard into the what I call like the arcade area. So yeah, this is actually quite cool. The only way to get to this area right now, there is a staircase that comes from below. So it's kind of hard to explain, but you'll kind of see it in the end. I do like a tour, um, but I do change the entrance way to get to this as well. So there ends up being a staircase that goes directly above. So I mean, I know it's not realistic. Obviously, if there was a crack in one of these windows, this whole place would flood because there's a pool entirely around it. But um, it's more, again, just for the look and just something different. I don't think I've ever seen a simmer do anything like this before. But I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm the first one, but I haven't really seen anybody do anything like this, so I thought it was really cool. Right now, you can kind of see I have a bridge that kind of connects the island from like the other side. There's like some staircases there, and for the time being, that's the only way the parents could go like snatch their kid from if they were on the island area. But I end up taking that down. You can see that right now, and I'm working on this staircase, which I was kind of mentioning earlier. So now your Sims could be on the island, and then they can go downstairs to like the adult area, and then they can go even further downstairs to the second basement. So it's kind of a unique floor plan. Definitely, again, not something that I've really seen much of, but I am really happy about how it looks all in the end. So right now I'm working on the basement pool that is indoors, and I'm pretty much connecting the staircase to like another like it's, again, this is hard to explain, but I if I was going to have a staircase that went underneath and then have like a hallway that goes above, I wanted there to be something to look at. So that's when I decided to make another pool. And the other thing is, like in water parks or theme parks, we're actually going on a trip Memorial Day weekend, which is going to be like a water park, and they have an indoor water park and they have an outdoor water park. So I thought that would be kind of cool to have not only an indoor water park but outdoor as well. I mean, most water parks are outdoor, but I thought it'd be cool to have an indoor one as well. Just in case there was rain. Obviously, we're talking Sims, so there is no seasons, or there are no seasons, but if there ever were, then you can have some indoor areas, which I think looks quite nice. So there's the pool, and then there is a hot tub, and then on either side of the hot tub, I put some saunas. So pretty much with everything, I put at least two of everything. There are two restaurants, there are two pool, like, or more than one pool, but there's many bars, there's two saunas, there's two, like, pretty much two of everything. So this is the restaurant that is on the basement level and pretty much has the same things from the one upstairs. I've just copied all of the items and placed them in this room, and then you see me kind of just messing around with the idea of the floor plan. I normally would put a lot of like cabinets and clutter in my kitchens, but I didn't put any cabinets in the kitchens here, mostly because they're not really, you don't really need them, but I also tried to not have this be like a very cluttered lot because I tend to use a lot of clutter in my builds, and I wanted this to be more of a clutter-free type of a lot. Um, so yeah, you're kind of seeing me messing around with some outside seating and some inside seating as well. I had found the little rubber ducky that I think it came with the base game, and I enlarged it and I put it in the pool. So this little pool that's on the basement level, it's outside. It's supposed to kind of be like more of like a kid pool. I mean, it's there's no like shallow end, it's all the same depth, but I thought it looked kind of cool to have that little ducky there in the side, so I kind of went with that idea. I'm not entirely sure what pack those tables came from, but I was super excited. Maybe Backyard Stuff Pack, because I know that's a newer pack that I haven't really played much with, but I love how they are larger tables. You can actually fit 6 chairs around them. Some of the other outdoor tables that have the umbrellas, you can only fit 4 chairs. So those were pretty big. I was excited to have those and definitely wanted to have them. And I purposely mismatched the umbrellas just to kind of give the feel of the lot, like have it like a little bit of a different look. So putting some table and chairs around the lazy river section. So there's plenty of different seating areas throughout. I think I forgot to look or get a final number, but I want to say like there is at least like 60 chairs or something like that in this lot, which is kind of crazy. Um, this is the downstairs or the like the basement area. This is where the spa is, and I don't get any final footage of this, which I probably should have because some of these rooms here are actually some of my favorite. They're really pretty. There's a lot of fountains and candles and everything. It looks really nice. But for some reason when I was making the footage, I just didn't want to have this video be too much longer. So you don't really see much other than what I'm building for you right now, but it's kind of nice. You walk in through like where the pool area is. There are 2 doors, and then it's pretty much like supposed to be the reception area where you would like say hi, I have an appointment for a massage, yada yada yada. I put a cash register there and another couple of stools and then some chairs and everything, so it's like a waiting area. And then you walk back, the first room is the massage tables, and I put all of the well, not all of the candles, but I put some candles around there. And then the back room has the like foot massage tables, I guess, back there. Some of the clutter items that you don't see that I put in are a like table with some towels on there that would be pretty much for like the workers to use. I also have another like little side table that has the basket. I think it's just a base game basket. It might have like either oils or like just like toiletry items. I can't remember exactly what's in there, but again, that's just supposed to be for like the workers. And you don't see any more footage of this and you don't see any screenshots. So I thought I'd mention that I did put a few more decorative items in the spa area that you don't see. Um, the spa also has its own like bathroom and locker room area. So there is another bathroom and locker room on this level, and then this one as well. So technically, this level has 2 bathrooms and 2 locker rooms. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to have like a massage and have to leave the whole spa section to go to the bathroom. So it has its own. I placed 2 fish tanks with the move objects on cheat and kind of separated the like foot massage areas. I just thought that was kind of cool just to kind of give it another cool kind of a look. And yeah, I don't know why that just did that. Sorry about that. That was kind of weird, that little video glitch, I guess. Right now we are upstairs and we are fixing the gym area. So there is a couple of workout equipment. There's a TV and a radio. There are bathrooms that are just over on the other side of that again, you didn't see me build, but believe me, they're there. There are plenty of bathrooms back there. Now we are on the lowest basement level. So, like I said, this is technically 4 stories, but this is the basement to the basement. And this is kind of where, like I said, you have those stairways that I had a hallway and I wanted to connect. So in the center island, there's no bathroom there. So you'd have to walk down the stairs and then there are bathrooms just right there. So they're not too far away. And then I decided to put some windows on the pool so you can look into there. And this is obviously, you had seen me put some bowling lanes. So I decided to have a bowling alley and another bar because apparently I guess I like to build bar areas in The Sims. I think that they're just a good like thing to take up space. So if you don't really know what to put, you put a bar, or at least I do. So yeah, this is probably the largest bar. There's like 2 different sections where the bar part is. So I think that looks pretty cool. And then, so like one part is for like the regular dining section, and then I put a wall in between. So there is another section that leads out to where the arcade is. So you kind of see me extending the bar a little bit, and I eventually again put a wall there, so it makes it look as if it's kind of almost 2 separate rooms attached by one bar, if that makes any sense. So I am, I kind of again put like random items in for the arcade and wasn't really sure how I was gonna do the layout for that, but none of them match, so don't worry. I end up picking some more white colors that match quite a bit better than just the random item colors that I have right now. One thing that I did want to mention that really, really bothers me, I said the lighting in The Sims is not all that great, but one thing that really bothered me with this whole level is like the wall colors. And again, I didn't you don't see me like choosing them, but no matter what color I seem to make or pick, it just seems to be very dark. And some of the brick that I end up using is like the lightest and whitest brick ever, but it looks so dark and gray. So like this brick that you saw me put right there, it's supposed to be white, but the color of it in this room is just horrific. And the same thing with the floors. I tried probably 100 different options. I'm no joke. I'm not exaggerating at all. And it's like it didn't seem to matter what colors that I picked. They just all seemed to look horrible. So if you download this lot, you can change the colors by all means. If you find something that actually looks nice, let me know, because I seriously tried to have the color, and it didn't seem to matter what colors they were. They just didn't seem to look well. Um, but anyway, I have 4 bowling lanes. I kind of separated it with a long wall in between, so you can kind of have like different, I guess, like parties bowling at the same time. I mean, obviously, it doesn't really like work that way. I mean, I think if you have Sims bowling, they will all use one lane, but again, I mostly just build for the look of things. So that's kind of how I kind of ended up doing. I put the dividers on one side and then the bowling balls on the other, and then a table or a couch with a couple of end tables on either side, so your Sims could like sit down when it's not their turn bowling. Even though I don't think they actually do that. I think if Sims are bowling, they'll just stand while the other Sim is bowling, but that's just kind of like the thought process that I had when I was building it. So here we are, we're getting towards the end of the video. Finally, we have coming from the front of the building, we're going to pan over to the right and look at one of the pools. And here's what I was saying about that lovely like pirate ship with the water coming out of it. You'll see a little bit more of it towards the end, but I thought that looked really, really cool. I'm glad that I ended up doing that. Kind of going around more of the outside, and then we're back around to the front. We're going to go ahead and zoom in like you're walking to pay for your ticket. And then again, I dressed those mannequins so they look all like they're gonna be selling some lovely swimsuits. And another view of the lazy river. I think that's probably my favorite part of the whole build, so I do show that a couple of different times. We are upstairs now and going to be looking back over on this other section over here where the hot tub is and the like kiddie pool area. And we're going to be going down into the restaurant. The spa is to the right, and again, I didn't go in there, but you got to see me build most of it, so I think it all works. The indoor pool, hot tub, sauna area. There's another bar behind there. We're going to take the stairs and go down. There's a hallway, bathrooms off to the left. This is down where we were just at with the bowling alley, the arcade, and the bar, the very large bar that's down here. And we're going to zip through the bar and kind of leave this section and go up these stairs, which are going to take us up into like the adult area, yet another bar and piano, karaoke machine, everything like that. And then finally go up these stairs, which is going to lead us back up into where the island is at. So this is probably one of my favorite shots. You can see how the water is spraying out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.